Okay, ladies and gentlemen, one thing the upside has to make it really vividly clear is that European Union is not a charity that intends and must have to help all the countries, even not the member of the Union. The intention of European Union is to look for the best benefit of the countries inside the Union at present time. Therefore, it is not going to help other countries if that was sacrificed for the loss of the majority of that European Union, ladies and gentlemen. Suppose you are at school. This is one very common situation. Suppose you are at school and you are alone. Your teacher assigns you a group project and you will have to pair up with someone else. One thing you have to come to a consensus in your mind is that, can you work with this one particular person? If you can work with this person, then you can pair with him or her. But if you cannot work with him or her, then probably you are not going to pair with that person, because the productivity of your group is not going to work out. It applies to group project as well. Suppose you have to go with 5 people, and these 5 people have to be able to accept each other and try to work with each other as well as they possibly can. If they do not come to consensus that they will accept these people, then how are they going to work together and create the best work they can produce in their maximum potential? And suppose you are already in the saturation point of 5 people, but there's one extra person in your class that has no group. Your group has to add up this one person to join your group. This person doesn't work with other people. This person has no knowledge of what you are trying to achieve. Is your group going to come to a consensus that this person would come into our group and delay the productivity of our group? This is what EU is about in today's debate. Because we feel that when EU has no necessarily need to increase more countries inside the European Union, and this country do not come up to the standards of economic and society level of the European Union is imposing, then why are we going to include this new country to delay our productivity in this real world, in this modernized world of a lot of competence inside this global democracy, ladies and gentlemen? And especially when we are talking about integration, it can only happen if and only if we agree to a consensus to include all the members, and all the members must be able to work together, and in terms of political, in terms of society. It is important that integration can occur if the will of all the countries of the members is for the majority of the people to benefit the most out of what they are going to do and what they are trying to achieve. More importantly, it is the people inside all the member countries that they will accept and respect each other without any conflict inside political and society. And this can lead to mutual development that the upside and the gov side have been trying to say so strongly, that we concede that mutual development is okay, it's what we would like to achieve. But integration itself, and how are we going to make sure integration is happening? We see that population balance is going to be affected by including new countries, and this population balance and trade balance is not going to affect EU in a good way if economic status and society status is not checked and balanced. We also say that it's fair for that country because the conditions we impose is not that difficult. All we impose is that the condition is that the country joining EU must accept the rules of law, that they must be democracy, that they upheld the human rights, and they respect for the minorities. And this is what society and socio-economic status and conditions that we are imposing onto them. And when they talk about these countries would like to join EU, and when they come in and other people will reform democratically and politically, but what we see is that if they are not going to reform before they join EU, then what makes them think that when they join EU and they will reform? So that is why we feel that it is the right of the European Union to select its member by basing on socio-economic conditions and the will of those people to join EU in the first place. Therefore, we are very, very proud to oppose it.